tennis champion, disability advocate and all-round legend Dylan Alcott has been named the 2022 Australian of the Year. He's still emotional after winning the award last night, and he has a Grand Slam to win tomorrow. After that, he's a retired champion, no more tennis. So the Australian of the Year award comes at a pretty great time for him. He says that he wants to not only be a voice for the disabled this year, but he wants to give others a voice too. Dylan Alcott, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
What would 14-year-old Dylan think about this today?
Well, here it is. He would say, get stuffed, first and foremost. I just can't believe it. And I'm just forever just so grateful, because I just used to hate myself so much and hated my disability. And, I didn't even want to be here anymore at some points. And because of my family and friends and my team and the advocates that came before me, people with disabilities that smashed glass ceilings so I can be here today. Athletes like Kurt Fairley, Louise Savage, Stella Young, like they were knocking down doors well before, I was doing anything. And he wouldn't believe it. He really wouldn't. And I can't even talk about it. Look at me. I've been talking about it all morning. I still don't even know what to say. It's pretty special.
Yeah, you're a mess, but we're okay with that. We love to see a bit of emotion. This award cements it, absolutely. But when did you first kind of realise that you were such a role model?
It's funny about being a role model. And it sounds weird, but I don't try and be a role model. I just try and be me. Like, I'm always 100% authentically me, because I can't be anybody that I'm not. And if that means that people are going to get around your story, how cool is that? But I'm never going to change. And I did starting to realise that people were buying into that journey. And I'm forever grateful for those people, because they not only made my life, but I don't say me, I say we, because we did this together. Like, we change perceptions together. We are trying to mainstream disability. We are trying to get greater representation for everybody with disability, in our boardrooms, in our classrooms, parliaments, mainstream schools, in our hospital programs, dating apps, absolutely everywhere. And it's not because of me. It's because of all of us, challenging our unconscious biases and working together to lift our expectations of what people with disability, what we think people with disability can do, because it's always more than able-bodied people give us credit for. And I'm just a proud man with a disability. I love my disability so much, and I want more people to feel proud about their disability, because there are 4.5 million people in this country with a physical or non-physical disability, and they all don't feel the same way that I do, but they deserve to feel the same way that I do. So it's going to be my purpose as your Australian of the Year, but also my purpose every day of my life, no matter what.
Well, you talk about your disability, Dylan, but the way I see it, you've done more in your life than any able-bodied person I know, to be honest. So as the year forges on, how would you like us to refer to you? Because disability advocate doesn't really seem like it's going to cut it.
I tell you how I love being referred to as Dylan. Like, awards, things like that, they're amazing, but they don't define who I am. Like, I'm the same guy yesterday as I was today. But what I do want everybody to think about is, people always go, what do people with disability need to do to get out there and start living their lives better? And to be honest, they don't need to do anything. They don't need my advice. They know what to do. My advice is to you, Laura, and to other people, non-disabled people, is to challenge your unconscious biases and change your perceptions of what you think people with disability can actually achieve and what kind of people we can actually be. Because we're ready to go, right? People with disability are ready to work. We're ready to get out there, ready to start. But in order to do that, we've got to fund the NDIS. We've got to get people with disability the healthcare they need as we start opening up from this pandemic. But most importantly, we need allyship and opportunities, and we need our voices listened to, because the best way to do that is through lived experience. And my role is not just to get on and talk about myself. Like, I'm not going to do that. Right? I hate the sound of my own voice, but it is to amplify the voices of other people with disability as well, because the best way to learn is through lived experience. And I don't know what they're going through. I only know what I'm going through. And it's going to be a team effort here. And people are like, what are you going to do as Australian of the Year? How are you going to do it? I'm like, I've got no idea. I tell you why, I've never been Australian of the Year. So I don't know. We'll do it together. I got no idea, but it's going to be an interesting journey.
You'll work it out, mate. You'll be in demand. Now, you didn't have the benefit of an NDIS when you were a kid. It didn't exist. The government has been flagging for some time that perhaps the costs are going to be unsustainable. What would you say to that?
Oh, I think that's not true, that it's going to be unsustainable. And you know what? The cost is worth it because it's not a cost, it's an investment in people with disability. So they can be the people that they want to become, but also their family members, their carers can get out and stop getting grants and pensions and start paying taxes, right? This was something by the Productivity Committee that told us that we need to do this so we can increase the GDP of Australia. Every $1 spent on the NDIS, $2.15 goes back into our economy. It's a sure thing. Right? And we need to guarantee that funding so people with disability can get what they need to be the people they want to be. And to be honest, do you know who knows the most about disability? People with disability, right? We know what we need. We've just got to be listened to. And I look forward to working with the government in any way that I can to make sure that we guarantee that money because it's an important... I mean, when I was growing up, right, I got my family, we weren't that well off. I got a wheelchair. I got my wheelchair like double the size just because I was supposed to have it for 7 years. And I couldn't even fit in doorways. But that's what we had to do back then, right? That wasn't fair, but it's just what happened. Now, right, we can get the equipment, the care, the resources to people with disability that they need so they can be the people they want to be. It's such a great program and I'm very passionate about that. It's going to stay.
Well, Dylan, last year it was the Golden Slam. This year, Australian of the Year, and you've got an Australian Open to win. You can't lose now.
Oh, yeah. What about that? That's tomorrow. I need to go train. I've got to give myself one more hour and then I'm not thinking about this again. And then I'm tennis Dylan. So I hope I make everybody proud out there tomorrow. I'm just going to have fun, enjoy myself because I'm a retired, washed up athlete in 36 hours.
Hardly. Well, I'm glad that we're giving you something to do for the rest of the year then. Use that adrenaline. Congratulations. Best of luck and can't wait to watch the win tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me on and I'll speak to you soon.